Welcome to the last stop on the West Coast run of the 2019 season. Celebrating 50 years of championship racing, Sonoma Raceway is host to MotoAmerica once again, where all 5 of our classes will be challenged by this historical layout. I'm Hannah Lopa. Welcome to Sonoma, California, and Inside MotoAmerica. Built in 1968, Sonoma Raceway sits on 720 in Marin County, just 33 miles north of San Francisco and just over 65 miles south of Sacramento. Overlooking the Sonoma Creek, just inside of San Pablo Bay, this 2.52-mile track features 12 turns and over 150 feet of elevation change. As the 2019 season comes to an end, the championship standings are taking form, and no class has more riders in the hunt than Supersport. Let's go to Greg and Jason for this week's races.
Hayden Gillum, 69. He knows that Bobby Fong is there. The question is, does he race in front of him or behind him? Meaning, is he concerned about where Bobby might try to make a move? But down through the carousel, you can see that mid-corner speed from the 69 Gillum. Absolutely ripped the carousel and has a nice gap. Now the question is, can Hayden get through these S's over the curb cleanly? Because last time when he jumped it, he wasn't able to get to his apex line, had to slow down to make the left-hander again. So here we go. Bobby Fong has closed it up once more. A cleaner run. Gillum able to get to where he needs to. Back to the right he goes. Here's an attacking spot. Is Bobby Fong going to be close enough?
No, I don't think he is, Greg.
So Bobby's trying to close it up, but he's got to get this chicane cleanly. Another run and the final opportunity to pass.
I think Hayden will go in here tight anyways. I don't think he's going to let Bobby have the idea of going, look, see how he blocked it right off the bat going in there? There was no way he was going to let Bobby just roll up underneath him.
Can he turn it? No, he's a little wide. Bobby trying to go up the inside. Side by side they go. It's going to be a drag race to the finish line, and it's going to be Hayden Gillum with the win. Into turn number 7. PJ, he's got his foot down. He makes the pass, but he's way, way wide. How many positions will he lose? Only 1.
Yep.
Bobby
just turned it
knows.
back up underneath him, didn't he?
Yep. So PJ with his first attempt at the lead with 14 laps to go. Up and over the wheelie hill, down into the chicane, hard on the binders. No big moves being made in the back of this pack as we see Bryce Prince, number 74, on that white and red motorcycle. There's Josh Hayes on the MP13 machine, a program put together by his wife, crew chief by Hayes' wife, Melissa Paris. Here is the lead. PJ goes into it again for the moment. The drive out, side by side they go to the line.
He's got it, Greg. I think he's got the point. Does PJ Jacobson? He's going to lead him into turn 1. Now, let's see if he can get his head down, because I watched this morning from up in this area, turn 2. PJ Jacobson looks so fast out of turn 2, headed towards turn 3. He had great grip. The bike sounded good. You could see him get that shift up to 3rd as they rolled down into turn 3, 3A. And he was extremely quick up over the top of the hill this morning when I was out there watching.
So PJ Jacobson takes the lead. Without question, one of the most talented riders we have in the MotoAmerica paddock. PJ Jacobson, a welcome addition back in the United States. With a few corners to navigate, PJ, woof.
All right, Peach, you got a 4-second lead here. All right, like
yeah, a look over his shoulder, man, because that was not the cleanest chicane I've ever seen. So PJ Jacobson, now he's got to get it on the brakes in turn number 11. Not the easiest corner on the racetrack, but PJ's going to turn it, get on the gas, and head towards the checkered flag. Put your hands together for PJ Jacobson, his 2nd win of 2019.
And it's going to feel like a win for Bobby Fong, coming across the line right now in 2nd place. There you are. Your championship points leader is going to extend his lead again. Bryce Prince, 3rd place. Great job for him and the Toon Racing guys. 39 flat for Bryce Prince on the last lap. That's his quickest lap of the race.
He wasn't playing.
And Hayden Gillum ends up 4th.
And how about Sean Dillon Kelly? From last on the grid, the M4 X-Star Suzuki rider will finish 6th place.
How were you eventually able to catch up to Fong and check out?
Yeah, I mean, the pace was really slow in the beginning, and the bike was feeling really good. I usually don't have grip the first couple laps, so we made a change, and then it helped us a lot, you know, and also we changed our gearing, so it was like a different bike compared to yesterday. And yeah, I was pretty pumped with the bike. It was going pretty good.
20 points back now is Hayden Gillum, but PJ 36 back. We still got a lot of races to go, so it's a three-way fight right now. Richie Escalante, it's the first mistake we've seen him make all year long, but he's going to hold on to 4th. Sean Dillon Kelly, amazing today, to get 6th place. Keep in mind, he didn't get to ride all those laps yesterday, so he didn't get to get that information for overnight. Prince, Hayes, Aguilar, McFadden ran out your top 9.
My favorite moment of this half of the season was probably at Utah, where I got 3rd in qualifying. Very excited about that. Unfortunately, I came in 4th place, but, you know, got the rest of the season to work on that.
When I was running up front in Virginia, I know it didn't end as well as I wanted to, crashing out both races, but being up front and knowing that I was there and running with the front guys, so we're just trying to get back there now.
This year's been kind of all up and down, so don't really have one.
My favorite moment of the first half of the season would be race 2 at MotoAmerica. Just in general, I had such a miserable first race, so being able to like turn it around and move up was nice.
My favorite moment first half of the year was probably winning at Coda, winning the race, then also Chan jumping on the bike. I think it was sick. A lot of friends and family there, so big moment for me. Proved a lot to myself.
The first round in Atlanta, we had a really good Friday, and then it's kind of going downhill from there, but that first day was actually really good.
First half of the season has been pretty rough, so I'm hoping that the best moment is yet to come, honestly.
The crazy mixed conditions race at Virginia International Raceway, where I thought I had won the race, but actually got penalized and ended up 2nd.
Win at VIR. We just put a weekend together, and VIR has always treated me well, and I always really look forward to going to VIR, and like I said, we got the win there, and now we're moving on.
Putting on pole at VIR and having a really good shot for the win. Came up a little bit short there in the last lap, but that was probably the highlight, just being up front where we belong.
Full throttle is like wide open, you know, so that's what, it's our VIP package. So you get a breakfast, you get a lunch, get our hospitality here at the track. Everybody that's a part of that package, they get to go out onto the grid and see the riders as they're preparing to put their helmets on. You get to sit right next to the starting line, watch the bikes take off, and then you get to hang out there for a lap as they're coming by at 200 miles an hour. I went to the VIP experience yesterday and met all the fans that bought that ticket, and I was really surprised about how much they know about MotoAmerica. You get to meet me too, so it's a pretty good deal.
2019 has been a tough season for 3-time Superbike champion Cameron Beaubier. Even though he has 2 wins and 10 podiums, he still trails championship points leader Tony Elias by 39 points. But all is not lost. He comes into round number 7 here at Sonoma Raceway as the hometown favorite and has won the last 4 races here. We thought who better to give you his turn-by-turn perspective of this 2.52-mile course.
Hey guys, Cameron Beaubier here. I'm sitting next to Mark. He's going to take us on a hot lap around Sonoma Raceway in the Roush Mustang, so buckle up. Going into turn 1, we go straight, and it's a super narrow corner right here. And you just want to get your braking done as soon as you can and get off the brake lever and be able to roll through the corner so you can carry quite a bit of momentum up the hill and over the curb, because you don't want to be accelerating too hard over the curb. It'll upset the bike. And then coming up here into 2, it's pretty crazy. Like, if you walk the track or ride it on a bicycle, it's pretty uphill. And you come up it with quite a bit of speed, and you don't really have to brake that hard because you know, you're just kind of riding into a wall, so to speak. And you just want to let off the brake as soon as you can, roll through this whole first section. Same with this corner. You just want to, for me, if I carry quite a bit of roll speed over 3 and 4, I mean, the more roll speed, the better it is getting over the top of the hill, and I really don't have to use the gas that much, and then that just doesn't upset the bike. Through this right-hander, it's a pretty wicked feeling when the tire goes off, because you start power sliding through here, and this corner's pretty important too. Like, you would think you'd want to hold the inside pretty tight because it's kind of off camber and you're fighting traction and stuff like that, but it's pretty bumpy on the inside of that corner. And what I like to do is brake kind of deep over the hill and run it wide a little bit and get in the middle of the track and set up my exit for this straightaway. Here, it's pretty much the only corner where you want the middle of the corner to be pretty slow. You want to make up a lot of ground on the brakes and a lot of ground on the exit because it's a double apex corner. You don't really want to roll through the middle at very fast. And then approaching the fast S section, you can make up quite a bit of time here, and you want to make the track as wide as you can and roll through here pretty quick, kind of like the first section, so you can get up over that rise without having to accelerate too much to keep the front end on the ground. You can make up quite a bit of time going into this tight S section, or the tight chicane, but you don't want to get too crazy on the brakes because the wind's constantly changing here. Coming out of the chicane, it's pretty important to not drift too far right, because you want to set yourself up good going through this right-hander, because there's a lot of time to be made on the side of the tire. And you want a really good drive going into the last corner, especially if you're in a battle for the lead or whatever. You want to put yourself in a good position to be able to square up this corner and get to the apex as soon as you can. There's a couple different ways you can take the last corner. I feel like when I have new grip or a new tire, good grip, I try to roll through it as fast as I can, but when the tire starts dropping, I just go straight to the apex and stand it up and try to get a good drive out. That's a lap around Sonoma Raceway in my perspective. See you guys soon.
Let's join race number 1. Here's Greg and Jason.
Tony Elias leads their way down through the S's here on the first lap. This is going to be the next primary passing spot. Cameron Beaubier just
Beaubier was in there so deep. Tony just slammed the door on him.
And we got all kinds of guys going straight. You can see at the bottom of our screen there, it's Cam Peterson and David Anthony.
Yeah.
And we are getting confirmation that it was Jake Lewis that went off into turn 5 as well, turn 4 as well. So I'm looking to see if Jake has made it back around, Greg.
The other Jake Gagne on the BMW in 5th
great
spot.
Job, yeah.
Having a great run at it. Was 4th quickest after this morning. Gagne telling me that he just went home after Laguna Seca, surfed and rode his mountain bike and got his rhythm back, did his yoga, did his stretching, and he's healing up quicker and feeling pretty confident.
So Tony's whole thing right now is block. It's kind of like make it to where if Cameron's going to go by, go down around the outside. There's a shot from Cameron's going to just try to stuff it right up underneath him. Can he get it stopped, Greg? That's the question.
Oh, no!
Man!
Cameron Beaubier asked too much of that tire, and down he goes.
That's it. I mean, that literally, you called it exactly right, Greg. He just got in there. He tried to get in there tight because he was so desperate to get by Tony. But that's the kind of line that Tony runs. He's going to make it hard for you because he's so good braking, and he's looking at that bike now. And that bike doesn't look so good. Garrett Gerloff now is going to try to take the chase to Tony Elias as they run up into turn 7. And Gerloff, fresh off that win at Laguna Seca, is going to see what happened to his teammate, and he's going to go after Elias now and try to get his second win. Garrett Gerloff has been able to close this gap back in. That Yoshimura Suzuki didn't lead either one of the sessions this morning, Greg. Both the Yamahas were pretty fast, and I feel, again, like we saw here you go, look at Garrett. He stuffs it up underneath Tony going in to the carousel and gets past him.
What a move by Garrett Gerloff on the inside as Tony Elias decided to leave the door open. Gerloff just snuck it in there, but we know Tony's a fighter. He's not going to do it here, so Gerloff, he knows. This is the thing about Tony, though, Jay. There's the ghost of Tony always. Where is he going to strike? And Gerloff's thinking behind him. But Garrett Gerloff, last time we saw him, he won the race. The largest margin of victory so far this season, 4.4 seconds. He now leads here at Sonoma Raceway.
I never, ever discount Tony Elias.
Fastest lap of the race, a 1:36.8. Did that back on lap number 6. Has backed it down to the 39s, managing an 11.8 second lead at the moment. This has the potential to be the largest margin of victory. What we call in racing a checkout. He done checked out.
Is this like in MotoAmerica history, maybe the biggest one we've had at 11 seconds? Or
Garrett Gerloff, foot down to the checkered flag, will take his second EBC Brakes Superbike victory in a row, the second of his career. Standing up, enjoying it. Congratulations all around as we wait the arrival of Tony Elias. And here comes your would-be champion, Tony Elias, the 2017 champ, will pad his lead. Come across the line in second spot. Matthew Skultz, wheel in the air, and a stand-up wheelie across the line to finish in third spot to wrap up our podium.
That you got the monkey off your back at Laguna with that first win. Did you feel kind of relieved and less pressure going into today? And how were you able to get around Tony Elias and just kind of hammer down?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, I felt way more relaxed today in general. I mean, it sucks that my teammate ended up going down. That made my life a lot more simple, at least. But yeah, getting around Tony was really tough. He's riding really well, but just went a little bit wide. And my bike's working awesome, my Yamaha R1. I feel like I can put the bike anywhere I want, wherever I want, and that really helped me just get underneath them in the carousel. And then I just try to put my head down and be consistent and just click the laps off.
Coming up next, the youth movement continues as Rocco Lander's domination continues to be a top story in 2019 in the Liqui Junior Cup class. Welcome back to Sonoma, California and Inside MotoAmerica. Like any sport, the future is in its fan base, especially when it comes to the youth. This week's crowd in Sonoma has shaped out to be a tremendous representation of the next generation of MotoAmerica. A generation led by Liqui Junior Cup Championship points leader Rocco Landers, who's set to compete in Sonoma for the first time. With more, here's Greg and Jason.
It's Rocco Landers. His lead has shrunk a little bit, 1.6 seconds down from 2. Kevin Olmedo on the 14, really starting to turn the screws on this one, trying to make a break to ensure that he gets that podium. Second place, you know what? I can't say at this point that Rocco Landers is really going to come under fire, but anything can happen. We've seen that Rocco's race hasn't been to perfection. But here's that battle for second behind the 97. Is anybody going to make a move in this braking spot? It looks like Josh Cernay was trying to go into Mark Edwards, but he doesn't get that one done. Next spot's going to be the chicane. That's going to be turn number 9. As they come through the S's, there have been passes made here, but not necessarily on these bikes.
Yep, no, and this is where you got to get a run right here out of this right. And if you can get a good run on somebody right now, they're all just a little bit too spread apart. Mark Edwards, he knows how good Kevin Olmedo is on the brakes, so it's going to make it really hard for him to do anything. Rocco Landers, you can see him just up ahead of these 3 guys, so these 3 are all keeping Rocco pretty honest.
Here comes another braking zone opportunity. There goes Edwards up the inside, going into the final corner on this racetrack. No, he can't hold the line. Up and out of the saddle goes Josh Cernay. It's going to be a run to the flag. Rocco Landers will take another victory here in 2019. And the dash to the flag, it's going to be Olmedo and Edwards.
They're coming down into turn 11 right now. Rocco's just kind of there, but not really doing anything. The white flag's going to be displayed this time by. I'm thinking I don't think it's going to be carousel. I think he's going to get close enough out of the carousel to try to do something up in turn 7. So if I'm Kevin Olmedo right now, I'm probably going to block the line going into the carousel a little bit just to deter any thought of that happening there. And then from that point, he's got to try to get the best run he can and get to turn 7. This is the battle for third still. Raging on as these guys are all got the white flag now.
Mark Edwards leads the way on the 26th, the battle for third. And here's back to the lead.
It's down into turn 4. So hopefully, when you think about what Rocco has shown so far, he's fast through here, and then if I'm Kevin, I want to stay over to the left a little bit. Don't want to open the door too much. He's done a pretty good job there because he's ran it in deep.
And he get it turned, though, on the exit.
Oh, yeah, he's got it going.
Rocco's been tight there, so a little bit more room. So Rocco trying to get a drive, spent a little more time on the edge of the tire, but Kevin Olmedo's done a good job. Here's another opportunity to pass into turn number 7. Olmedo sits up, grabs the brake lever. Rocco falls behind. So now just a couple of spots, opportunities. Kevin Olmedo with half a lap to go, trying to get his first win of 2019.
He is trying to, Greg, as they come down into these S's. This is where Rocco's going to try to go to the right of him here as they come down the hill.
Rocco with a great drive. The number 97 side by side takes over the lead. Into the chicane they go. Kevin Olmedo will have an opportunity to try to strike back. Olmedo on the gas.
He's right
he gets
there.
A decent drive. Oh, is he going to try to force the issue? Oh, that was so close. Did that blow it for Olmedo? Rocco Landers moving to the mid part of the track, trying to block the line. Kevin Olmedo is trying to, and up and out of the saddle he goes. Rocco using every bit of the racetrack. Gets on the gas and heads to the line and will log another win in the Liqui Junior Cup race by 0.2 of a second.
Rocco, back-to-back wins on the weekend for you. You caught Kevin right at the end there. How did you do it?
Kevin was riding so well that race. We were like exchanging positions at the beginning there, and then I just decided maybe I should just settle in, see what I could do behind him. And I knew I had to think about where I was going to pass him, so just that came out as my favorite spot to do it.
Get a look at our standings, Greg. 250 points now, 76-point lead over Dallas Daniels, who obviously wasn't here this weekend. Kevin Olmedo is third, pretty much solidifying that spot right now because Gage Reese is fourth. Dominic Doyle, who didn't finish today, I saw him pushing his bike just now, so he's fifth.
It's hard to believe that Rocco, like so many of the competitors in his class, are too young to drive away from the track in a vehicle of their own. Thus, they must travel with their parents. But these men and women have so much more responsibility than just mom and dad. With more, here's Inside MotoAmerica's The Crew.
Hi, my name is Khamsouk. I'm the truck driver, the crew chief, the mechanic, and also the dad of Toby Khamsouk.
My name's Corey Burleson, and I'm Isaiah's father, and I wrench on a twins team for Metric Garage.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Khamsouk, and I am the cook, the cleaner, the everything in between.
And you're Toby's mom too, no?
Oh, I'm Toby's mom.
Yeah.
I do all the wrenching on his bike. I'm his main mechanic. I do the wrenching for the twins team in trade for transportation to and from the racetrack. So I'm a part of that team so that me and Isaiah can be a team when we're here. And those guys allow me to have that time to go to the grid, keep his bike going.
We are a team of three, the rider, dad, and mom. So he does the mechanics, he does the driving, he does sometimes the coaching when JP43 is not available. I do the cooking. I make sure he's taken care of, make sure he drinks enough water, make sure he eats his breakfast. And then I'm there for anything else he might need.
I was a racer myself, so I worked up through the ranks, so I kind of understand what he's going through, so I try to help him be his rider coach, his mechanic, you know, and then somewhere in there I got to be his father. So I got to pat him on the back, tell him it's okay. Probably the hardest thing for me is relating to him when he needs a dad and not a crew chief.
We're there to support him, and when he kind of goes off out of line a little bit, we want to show him that in order to do the racing, you have to go to school, you have to get good grades, or else it's not happening.
He's such an inspiration to me. Like, I've always grew up and I've always been like, I want to be like my dad, and but now, you know, I finally get to race with my dad when we're not at MotoAmerica, and it's just super amazing time.
Sometimes it's really we're nervous and you get an anxiety attack towards the end. You're just more concerned about him coming in safe. You know, if he finished up, you know, up in the top, it's kind of like a bonus.
When I see him crash and whatnot, it doesn't affect me that much because I've been there, I know what it's about. If he doesn't get up or he doesn't move, then, you know, my dad instincts kind of kick in. But as far as him crashing, it's just part of it.
Last round, me and him were both racing our 400s together, and we both got first and second. I got second. But we both did matching stand-up wheelies side by side, down the straightaway, and it was just a super cool moment.
When we're on the road together, we get to experience so much and we make so many memories. We drive by a random place and go, remember that one year when we came here and we went there, we did this, and I love that. That's what I do this for.
More action from Sonoma Raceway when we return with Inside MotoAmerica. Welcome back to Sonoma, California and Inside MotoAmerica. Week 7 is upon us and many of the MotoAmerica stories keep coming in. It's time for our news and notes. This week, Ranger Road made its debut at MotoAmerica. Ranger Road is a veteran nonprofit organization working with veterans with various types of disabilities. Ranger Road assists veterans through sports and outdoor activities. Ranger Road sets itself aside from other nonprofit organizations by putting 100% of their donations back into their programs and events. In Sonoma, their primary goal is to create awareness for the overwhelmingly high suicide rates amongst our veterans, a cause special to all. Athletes are different from normal people. It's not just the skill set they possess for their specific sport, it's a mental thing, that unique ability to not let something get in your way to meet your end goal. One of Northern California's up-and-coming road racers, Josh Cernay, is no exception. The 21-year-old native Californian is a normal young road racer, but faces a different obstacle, cystic fibrosis. While many have heard of the disease as a result of awareness raised by celebrities like footballer Boomer Esiason and in motorcycle racing Brock Glover, many may still need to Google it to know exactly what it entails. Yamaha is considered a pioneer in the e-bikes with over 2 million bicycles worldwide to empower its customers. This week, Yamaha let us try out its YDX Torque, and needless to say, it's been a hit in Sonoma. For more information, go to yamahabicycles.com.
Wow. But the harder I pedal,
Yep.
I can feel it helping me more.
Exactly, it matches your power and gives you a little more.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Okay, one more arrow up. Extra power.
Extra power!
Head towards that dirt
Up
underneath
there?
the tent there. Yeah, just start pedaling up that dirt. Up the hill. There you go. Woo!
That was awesome. I didn't think I was gonna make that.
In MotoAmerica, nothing is more paramount for our teams, their crew, along with fans and staff than safety. Although everyone takes endless precautions to assure the safety of their team, it's the tough task of MotoAmerica to make sure our riders are safe on the track, where they reach speeds of up to 180 miles per hour. With more, here's Inside the Tech of MotoAmerica.
Hi, my name is Dan Argano. I am the FIM North America Safety Officer. My duties at the track are make it as safe as it possibly can be. We have obstacles at any race course and we try to protect them as best as we can, and we use our air fence to do that. We use a inflatable Alpina brand safety device, approximately 4 feet tall and 4 feet deep and 28 feet long. And we carry 80 of them on the truck with us to each event. We don't use all 80 at every event, but we use as many as we possibly can. They're designed to take the impact of a rider. Hopefully the rider gets there before the motorcycle does, because the motorcycle can puncture one. But they have a front panel, a back panel, and 4 separating devices. They're all filled with air at a certain pressure with blow-off valves. They're self-maintaining, which means we have basically fish tank air pumps that fill them constantly at all times, so we don't have to maintain them throughout the day, and they keep the proper pressure in them no matter of the climate. On this racetrack, the first place we've put air fence up is in turn 2, and at this location we've so far put 8 in. It's very labor intensive. Each piece takes approximately 15 minutes to put up. And when you're talking about we install 50 to 75 of them at each track we go to, that's a long day for those guys. But, you know, they do it every weekend, whether they're used or not, and our best weekend is the weekend they don't get used. All of our inflatable protection is distributed to us through the Road Racing World Action Fund, which is all a donation-based fund. They purchase the air fence and Alpina brand protective devices for us, and It's given to us for as long as it's serviceable. We install it, we transport it, and maintain it.
The Road Racing World Action Fund is a 501c3 nonprofit with a mission to improve rider safety by demonstrating inflatable airbags at motorcycle events across the United States. There are numerous ways to donate to the Road Racing World Action Fund. You can just go to roadracingworld.com/action fund and there's a donate button right there. Or you can come out to a MotoAmerica race, take a 2-seat ride. You get a fun, thrilling ride on the back of the Dunlop M4 Suzuki 2-seat Superbike, and you get to help improve some rider safety.
Typically, when Dunlop would roll out a new Hypersport tire or sport touring tire, we take the tire it replaced and take it off the shelf, and we just have one tire in either the sport touring segment or the Hypersport segment. And so what we did is we brought 3 more tires into the market. So for sport touring, we brought the SportMax Road Smart 2. If you're a customer that's not riding all the miles and you still want great wet or dry traction, the SportMax Road Smart 2 will be the tire for you. And in Hypersport, we brought in the SportMax GPR 300, which is our budget tire. The next step up is the SportMax Road Sport 2. It's going to get a little better wet and dry traction than the GPR 300. For a budget-friendly, all-around good tire, the Road Sport 2 is going to be for you. On sport touring, we have the Road Smart 3. It's really the best-in-class sport touring mileage tire. Now, the Q3 Plus is the only Hypersport tire that is manufactured in the United States. Its research and development team is located right here in Buffalo, New York. The testing that we do with that tire happens in Huntsville, Alabama. You've got multi-tread, so you're going to get better mileage than you would out of the rest of our Hypersport lineup, and you still get that great traction and grip that you're used to seeing with the Q3 tires. The SportMax Q4 is for that weekend warrior, and it's a non-tire warming track day tire. It's street legal. In fact, it's designed by the same engineers that designed the slicks for MotoAmerica. It's built on the same machines as those slicks that are built in MotoAmerica. So if you're not ready for the slick, but you want to improve those lap times at the track, the Q4 is a tire for you.
For Dunlop, safety and success are of utmost importance. But once the motorcycles are fully equipped and ready for MotoAmerica, it's time for training. Here's some of our riders who are preparing for the task.
So the idea of what we're doing here is for a couple of years, I've been having guys like Corey Ventura, Bobby Fong, Garrett Gerloff come and spend a lot of time with us in the off season, where we spent weeks together, training together, riding bicycles, riding motocross, doing all these fun things. This is kind of our test for the J-Force training camp.
Well, it's good. You know, I haven't really cycled too much in the past, and Josh getting us out every morning, going for 30, 40 miles every day is pretty good. I like it. It's a new training method for me. I think I'm gonna, once I go back home, try to figure out something and incorporate it into my training plan. And like riding in the backyard and even supermoto with these guys like Bobby, Cam, and Garrett, it's pretty nice just to see what they're doing and what level they're at, and just try to strive to be as close to them as possible.
A lot of what we're doing here at the J-Force camp, I've had the experience doing it with Danny Walker and American Super Camp and the Road Race Factory stuff, but you know, that stuff's kind of open to more of a variety of an everyday rider sort of thing, and what we're doing here is helping kids and even guys at my level just get to that next level in a racing application, and honestly just being able to be here and ride around with guys that are winning races at the moment is pretty cool, and just being in that professional environment. Everything we've done here, to me it's been beneficial, just kind of taking that next step and taking racing and that competitive edge just to the next level.
I think the biggest thing that I've gained out of this is just being able to kind of compete outside of racing, you know? Like I have all these guys here, all other racers, Bobby Fong, Cameron Peterson, Corey Ventura, Hunter Dunn, like all these guys are really strong racers, and to just like continue the competition past the racetrack is fun sometimes, but also can help you learn things that maybe you wouldn't think about. So when we're riding TTRs or when we're riding, you know, WRs doing supermoto, just being able to just stack yourself up against these guys on something that is exactly the same from bike to bike really kind of puts you, just like shows you kind of where you're at and also where you can improve. Because I actually had a test in between this period of time that I've been here, and just a couple times that we rode TTRs and Supermoto, I was able to kind of like apply some of the things that I learned doing that to my test riding the Superbike, and I had a really good test. So just small things like that you might not think make a difference, but in the end, it's all the small things that count.
Can it be intimidating being with some of the good guys that you're actually with and riding motorcycles with them and riding bicycles, or do you just see it as a big help?
I wouldn't really say either one. I mean, those are the guys that I'm racing against, so I kind of put myself up against them, and I'm like, I need to be just as fast or better than you guys because I want to beat you guys. I'm lining up on the same track, same times, and I just need to go and do it.
Feelings are getting hurt. My feelings are getting hurt, and it's just it's nice for the training aspect and being so close on the bicycles and the mini bikes. It helps us on the racetrack, especially in the competitive environment of just bumping each other, elbowing each other, and just seeing what one person's doing different than the other, and just picking up little things, because obviously this is a whole learning process, and we're getting better every single day because we're adapting to multiple different styles, at least on the track and everything. So I've definitely learned a lot, and with Josh's experience and knowledge, it's helped me as a person, as a rider, and on and off the track. So I enjoy coming here and spending time with Big Head and Mel and Josh, and looking forward to coming back. Honestly, I don't want to help anybody, and at the end of the day, this is a joke. No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying.
In 2 weeks, MotoAmerica heads east, where all 5 classes are in Pittsburgh. Then New Jersey, followed by the season-ending event in late September at Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama. Inside MotoAmerica will be there to help take the helmets off our riders and tell their great stories on and off the track. Barn burner. When the competition or racing is really competitive, hard-fought, and the outcome is not determined until the very end. Although this term is not exclusive to motorcycle racing, it always summarizes a tremendous competition.
Who's going to have it to the line? Side by side they go. They bend it over, and it's Rocco Landers.
Wow.
By .023 of a second.
Helbert Aguinaldo, District Manager for Cycle Gear. We are the largest retailer of motorcycle parts accessories, brick and mortar, in Northern America. So it's been an awesome job of what we do, what we do for customers. At Cycle Gear, we sell a lot of gear. Helmets, if you can kind of see back here, helmets we do sell a lot of. We sell parts for your bike, oil filters. Also, we have gloves. We can get it for you. If it's not in the store, we can definitely get it ordered and sent to your house. Racing has been kind of stagnant here in the United States for a couple years now, so it's awesome that MotoAmerica has brought to light back to some of the road racing events, and now partnered with Cycle Gear starting last year. We're definitely trying to bring back racing into the forefront here. A little bit of a history. We've had some great racers race for Cycle Gear, and of course, Kyle Wyman is one of our sponsored riders. So Cycle Gear has been deeply rooted in racing. We are the title sponsorship for Sonoma, and it's awesome, and hopefully we can keep having that partnership with MotoAmerica for years to come.
After 7 rounds, no race is tighter than the Twins Cup as a result of what happened here in Sonoma. Entering the race, Michael Barnes was the points leader, but he crashed and dropped to 3rd in points. Drake Beecham jumped into the points lead after finishing 2nd, and race winner Alex Dumas moved into the 2nd spot. Amazingly, 2 points separate 1st to 3rd place in the Twins Cup point standings. Andrew Lee took over the lead of the Stock 1000 class. His win gave him the California sweep. A month earlier, Lee earned the checkered flag at Laguna Seca. Lee is 23 points ahead of Stefano Mesa, who missed the podium for the first time this year, finishing 4th. Michael Gilbert, who finished 2nd in Sonoma, is 3rd in the championship point standings. After crashing in race number 1, hometown hero Cameron Beaubier has his sights set on redemption after watching Superbike championship points leader Tony Elias build his lead with a 2nd place podium finish. Can Beaubier bounce back? Welcome back to Sonoma, California and Inside MotoAmerica. It's redemption time for Cameron Beaubier. After crashing in race 1, he needs to earn the 25 points and the win to have a chance to catch Tony Elias over the final 3 rounds.
Superbike race number 2, EBC breaks, Superbike and Cameron Beaubier, a good launch, but it's Tony Elias trying to find some room around the outside.
Cameron needs to just, oh, there he goes. He's got it, Greg. He should just go right to the inside, going up into turn 2, which he does. Cameron's got the start that he wanted. Now he's got to get his head down.
For Tony Elias, this moment right here is an uh-oh moment. He wanted to control the pace for the first 5 laps, he told me. Didn't want to let Cameron get out there. He told me, Tony Elias, he said if Cameron got out front, he thinks that Cameron could have won this race by 30 seconds or more.
Well, it looks like that already. I think this is a lot bigger uh-oh moment if it was race 1. Race 2 yesterday, or race 1 yesterday, Tony just hauled away 20 points and increased his championship. Now it's a matter of, okay, let's get into damage control mode. Look at Cameron Beaubier go right off the start, Greg. It's almost a second or more as they head up into turn 7. As they come down into turn 9, Josh Herrin was looking like he wanted to take a shot at him. Matthew's bike looks a little bit loose, but once Matthew kind of gets used to that, once he gets used to the feel, I'm looking at somebody's bike here, Greg.
That's on board. That's Tony.
Is that Tony Elias?
Tony Elias, our championship points leader.
You know, when they were coming in here, I heard something scraping, and I didn't know what it was, but that's Tony in turn 7.
So Tony Elias with a big chance. He was 1 second behind Cameron Beaubier. Let's take a look at the replay and see what happened, Jay.
This is going to be coming out of the carousel. You see Garrett Gerloff has closed up a little bit, and as well, Tony had closed up that half track, the last half of the track on the first lap. This is where he's been testing himself all weekend going in here. I've seen him run wide there so many times, but you're going to see he just loses the front, Greg. Loses the front, probably broke a handlebar off or did something to where he couldn't get the bike picked back up, and you can see how aggravated he is. This is, I tell you, this is just giving Cameron and both these Yamaha guys a bunch of points. 25 and 20, it's 45 points he's handed back to the Yamaha today.
So 59 points was the advantage, but Jay, again, this is what happens in this championship. So Cameron crashes out yesterday and gives Tony 20 back, and if Cameron can hold on to this.
Now we got the battle for third behind Garrett. Garrett Gerloff is going to do everything he can, obviously, to catch his teammate.
MotoAmerica's 3rd trip to Sonoma Raceway, and Cameron Beaubier, if he can get to the checkered flag on this lap, will have won 5 of the 6 races. It looked like certain disaster yesterday for Cameron Beaubier and his bid to hold on to the #1 plate until next season. And then early on in this race, Tony Elias on the Yoshimura Suzuki, your championship points leader and 2017 champ, has made it a little easier.
He actually gains 5 points on the weekend, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the big deal.
It's a big deal,
yeah.
you know?
So the net of this weekend for Cameron Beaubier, if he can take it to the checkered flag and win this thing, will be 5 points on Tony Elias. So, and that's mainly because when he got out of the race yesterday to Cameron Beaubier, Tony Elias only finished, I say only, but he finished 2nd. So that was a 20-point haul. And this is going to be a 25-point.
Yeah, it's so rare to see Tony make mistakes, especially early in a race. Like, I can't remember the last time I saw Tony make a little mistake in the beginning of a race like that, but it happens. It's racing. It's just when it looks like everybody's got it on their side and there's nothing going to happen, it can happen, and this guy's going to get it today.
Here comes Cameron Beaubier, wheel in the air. The Northern Californian, the local rider, wraps up a win here in race number 2 in the EBC Brake Superbike class. His teammate, Garrett Gerloff, coming to the line in 2nd spot, and Josh Herrin, flying the flag for Suzuki, plays his race in a perfect way after missing out yesterday, will stand on the podium here in Northern California.
After yesterday's unfortunate race, you made up some much-needed points in the charge for the championship. How are you able to kind of put the events of yesterday behind you and really focus?
Yeah, it was a tough race. I really wanted to come back today and rebound well. You know, I just feel like, I mean, Garrett kept the pressure on me the entire race, and for a little bit I thought it was Tony, and then I glanced up at the board with 7 laps in or something like that, and I was like, oh man, like Garrett's putting the pressure on, and hats off to him. He's been riding so good.
Here are the championship standings after a weekend that saw 2 riders at the top of the leaderboard each crash out in one of the races. Tony Elias has a 34-point lead over Cameron Beaubier and a 40-point lead over Garrett Gerloff. With only 3 more stops on the 2019 MotoAmerica season, it appears to be Tony's championship to lose. In 2 weeks, MotoAmerica heads east to the state of Pennsylvania. Opened in July of 2002 and the small town of Wampum, where all 5 classes will take on this 17-year-old track known as Pit Race. Check your local listing for airtimes on the NBC Sports Network. I'm Hannah Lopa, and for the rest of our Inside MotoAmerica team, thanks for joining us here at Sonoma Raceway. We'll see you from Pittsburgh in just a couple weeks.